Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Alhamdulillahi Rabbil Alameen. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullah. Right, we continue with the series of factorization. Today we do how to factorize quadratics with the two variables. But I just want to, as a reminder, just remind ourselves how did we factorize quadratic with a single variable. Example, we had, if you had a 3x squared plus 8x plus 4, and they ask us to factorize this quadratic. We knew, as we know, quadratics, when we factorize it, we multiply coefficient of x squared, which is 3, and our constant, which is 4. So we multiply 3 times 4. This gives us a 12. But we find the factor of 12. When we add them or subtract, they will give us 8. Right. This is the factor of it, but it doesn't give 8 if we add this 2. Also, factor of 12 is 2 times 6. And we know if we add positive 2, positive 6, this will give us 8. So we can use this factor to factorize, to split the middle term, 8x. I'm just going to rewrite this. This is 3x squared. And now, what is my 8x? I can write 8x as positive 2x positive 6x, because I know 2x plus 6x, it gives me 8x plus 4. Once I get into this stage, I just group the first two terms and the last two terms together. What's the common factor between this here? 3x and 2x. I can see x outside, then 3x squared. If I pull x outside, I will remain with 3x plus 2x. If I pull x outside, it will be 2 left there, plus, what's the common between the two is positive 2. And then if I take 2 out, 6x, it will be 3x plus, if I take 2 out, I will have 2 left there. Then I can see this bracket and this bracket, they're exactly the same thing. I put that outside, so I will have a 3x plus 2. Then what will be left here will be x, and what will be left there will be positive 2. This is how I factorize this quadratic with a single variable. Let's try to factorize similar example, like similar quadratics, but now it has a two variable. And this will be our example number 1 for our discussion. Let's look at, if I have 3x squared plus 8xy plus 4y squared, and they ask me to factorize this. What will I do? I do exactly the same thing. I multiply the coefficient of a square term. Now here I've got two square terms. I've got 3x squared and I've got 4y squared. I will multiply their coefficient, which is what? Which is coefficient of x squared is 3 and coefficient of y squared is 4. 3 times 4, this is equal to 12. But I want to find the factor of 12. If I split it, if I add them, they will give me positive 8. So this again will be the same as the previous. It's just 2 times 6. 2 times 6, if I add them, I'll get positive 2 plus 6. This will give me 8. So I can split middle term 8xy using the factors 2 and 6. What will this be? This will be 3x squared. I just rewrite as it is. Now I'm splitting my middle term. I will have positive 2xy, because this has two variables now. So when I split it, I make sure I put the two variable again, plus what is left is 6xy again, plus 4y squared. Now, once I'm at this stage, all I have to do, group the first two terms and the last two terms together. What's the common between the first two terms? I can take x outside the bracket. If I take x outside the bracket, 3x squared, if I take x outside, I will be left with 3x plus 2xy. If I take x outside, will be 2y left, plus, what's the common between the two? I can see 2y into, what's left if I take 2y outside from 6xy, I will be 3x plus, what I left with, 4y, if I take 2y out from 4y square, this will be 2y. Again, comparison, this one bracket and that bracket is exactly the same thing. So I take that outside, 3x plus 2y. On this term, if I take 2x plus 3y, what will I be left with? X plus 2y. And this will be the solution of this example. And this is how we can factorize quadratic expression with the two variable. Is similar with what we've done with the single variables. To be honest, it's exactly the same thing. It's just another variable added into it. Let's have a look at a few more examples and then we'll see how we can do it. Right. Let's have a look at example number 2. They're just giving us two expressions to factorize. You have two parts, part A and part B. If I start with part A, what will we do here? Again, we multiply the coefficient of square terms, which is here is 6 and 4. So if I multiply 6 times 4, what will I get? This will be 24. But I need the factor of 24. If I add them or subtract them, they will give me my middle term, which is negative 11. 6 and 4, they don't give me negative 11, but I know 24, I can do 3 times 8. 3 times 8, if I put negative on 3, negative on 8, and add this, minus 3 minus 8, this will give me minus 11. So I know I can use my factor of factor of 3 and 8 to do this. So let's do it. Our given expression is 6x squared minus 11xy plus 4y squared. What do? I split the middle term. So I write 6x squared as it is. 6x squared minus 11xy is the same as minus 3xy minus 8xy plus 4y squared. What do I do here? Just combine the first two terms and the last two terms. The first two terms, what the common between the two is 3x. If I take 3x out of the 6x squared, I'll be left with 2x minus, if I take 3x out of minus 3xy, I'll be left with y minus, again, what's the common between the two? 4y. If I take 4y minus 4y from 8xy, I'll be left with 2x, and then minus 4y. If I take minus 4y out, I'll be left with minus y. The reason why I've got minus here, because minus this minus times this minus, these two sign, they will give me positive sign, which is this sign over there, right? So what would we do? I've got this bracket and this bracket is exactly the same. I'll take that outside. I do apologize, it's not 3, is 2x minus y into bracket. What will be left there? 3x, and what will be left here? Minus 4y. And this will be the end of this factorization. Let's do part B of this example. Again, what do we have? We have multiply the coefficient of square terms, which is 2 times minus 10. 2 times minus 10, this will give me what? They will give me minus 20. But I need to find the factor of minus 20. If I add them or subtract, they will give me, basically, here the coefficient of xy term is just 1. So they will give me 1. So if I take this as minus 4 times 5 and add this to number, what will I get? I get minus 4 plus 5. What do I get? I get 1. So I can use these factors to split my middle term. I just rewrite the first term, 2x squared plus, what is my xy? I can rewrite this into plus xy. I can rewrite that into minus 4xy plus 5xy minus 10y squared. This was just finding the factor. Right, now I factorize between the first two terms and the last two terms. What's the common between the two? I can see 2x. If I pull 2x out of 2x squared, I'll be left with x minus, if I put 2x, I'll be left with 2y. And then what's the factor between the two? I can see positive 5y. And then if I take 5y from 5xy, I'll be left with x, then minus 10y squared. If I take positive 5y, here I need to have minus, because positive times minus will give me this minus. Then I'll be left with 2y. 5 times 2 is 10, and y times y is y squared. Look at it. I've got this bracket and this bracket. They're exactly the same. Pull it outside. I'll have x minus 2y. Then what will I be left here? It will be 2x plus 5y, which is this one here, and this will be the end of this. So you can see is a similar way when we were doing factorizing quadratic with a single variable. I'm going to do example number 3, and then I will put some exercise for you to try it for yourself. Right. Example 3. I've been given two quadratic expression and asked to factorize these. Right. The first one, I've got 20x squared minus 9xy minus 20y squared. What do we do? The first things we say, we multiply the coefficient of square terms. So what do I have? I've got 20x squared and minus 20y squared. What do I have here? What will I do is 20 times minus 20, which is coefficient of x squared is 20 and coefficient of y squared is 20. But when I multiply this will give me like minus 400, right? It is difficult to see the factor of minus 400 straight away. So what do? I'm just gonna rewrite this as in a simple term. What is 20? 20 is 4 times 5, and then times what is another 20 I've got? This must be minus 4 times 5, or it can be minus 5 times 4. This minus, it can go either way. And by looking at this I can rewrite this as a 4 times 4, that will be 16. So I can rewrite that 16 times minus 25. This is the same as minus 400. Now I can see if I add these two numbers, 16 plus 16, take away 25, what will I get? This will give me minus 9. So I know I can use 16 and 25 to split my middle term. I find this way of finding the factors is easier if the coefficient the number are too large to find out the factors straight away. So I know I can use positive 16 and negative 25 to split my middle term. I'm just going to rewrite my given expression, which is 20x squared minus 9xy minus 20y squared. Now I know my 9xy, right? Okay, let's write 20x squared minus 9xy is the same as positive 16xy take away 25xy, because positive 16xy take away 25xy, this will give me minus 9xy minus 20y squared. Right, once I'm at this stage, what do? Group the first two terms and the last two terms. What's the common factor between the first two terms? I can pull 4x outside, and what will I be left with? The 20x. If I put 4x outside, here will be 5x plus, if I pull 4x from 16xy, I'll be left with a 4y minus Now between the last two terms I have minus what? Minus 5y into bracket. If I take minus 5y, I'll be left with 5x from this term. Then to get minus, I need to have a positive sign here, because minus times plus, it will give me minus. If I pull that 5y outside, I'll be left with 4y, because 5 times 4 is 20, and y times y, it gives me y squared. If I look at it, I'll get the first bracket and this bracket, they're exactly the same. Pull that outside, it gives me 5x plus 4y. Then from this one here, if I pull 5x plus 4y, I'll be left with 4x, and on this second one, I'll be left with minus 5y, and that will be the end of that example. So our factors will be 5x plus 4y into 4x minus 5y. Let's have a look at example or part B of this example. Again, what do? We just multiply coefficient of square terms, so which I will have what? 2 times minus 30. What will I have again? I will have, this is 60, but then I can split this as the way I want it. So this is the same as 2 times what is 60? 60, I can rewrite this, and then I can say is what? Is 6 times minus 5. What do I get here? Is 12 times minus 5. I can use this 12 and 5 because if I add these numbers, if I take 12 minus 5, this will give me 7. So I can use 12 and 5 to split my middle term. So I'm just going to rewrite that for the sake of 1 sec. Just pull it everything. Get more space. Right. I know this factor I can use here is what? Is 12 times minus 5. Right, I'm just going to wrap this out so we can have more space. Right, now, what did we say? We said we can split that middle term with 12 and 5. Right, just going to rewrite that. This will give me 2x squared plus what is 7xw. I can do plus 12xw minus what? 5xw minus 30w squared. Right, group the first two terms, group the last two terms. What do I get here? I can see the common factor is 2x. If I pull 2x outside of 2x squared, I'll be left with x plus. If I take 2x outside, I'll be left with 6w. You with me? Right, now the second two terms I've got common, minus 5w, and if I from this term, if I take minus 5w out, I will be left with x. Right, I've got minus 30w squared, but for me to get minus 30, I will need to have a positive side inside the bracket, because minus times positive will give me negative, and then if I pull outside 5w, I'll be left with a 6w. Right, look at it, this bracket is exactly the same as that bracket. You just write that one outside, like once I got x plus 6w, and then what will be left on this term into bracket 2x minus 5w, and that will be the end of this example. I think we've done 3 examples so far, and then in my eyes I think these are sufficient. Now what I will do, as I will always keep saying, you don't learn mathematics by looking at it, you need to do it yourself. So I will put few more, I will put the exercise for you to try, and then I will write the solution of those exercises afterwards. Right, exercise number 1, I've got question 1, I've got 3 parts, A, B, and C. Pause the video and try this for yourself, and I will put the solution of this once you have tried it. Okay, this is the solution of our question number 1. All I have done is 8, multiply the coefficient of square terms, which is 8 times minus 9. Then instead of saying 72, I just went to split this further, the factor of 8 and factor of 9. So I find this way is easier for me to find the factors rather than getting into a large number. And then I will get my factors I can use to split this is 6 times minus 12. When I use 6 times minus 12, I can split the middle term and then everything fall into place. Exactly the same thing. I multiply 2 times 9, I get 18. What are the numbers which if I add them they will give me positive 9? Is 6 times 3, factors of 18. So I use them, split it, take the first 2 terms and then take the last 2 terms. Exactly the same here. Multiply by 6 times 4, give me 24. What are the factors of 24? Which will give me minus 11 is 3 and 8. If I put negative on 3 and negative on 8, it will give me minus 11, and this is what I've done. And then split that, collect the first 2 terms and the last 2 terms together, and then I will end up with this solution. And this is question number 1. Now I will put question number 2 for you to try, and then I will write the solution for that as well. Right, this is question 2 of our exercise. Again, we've got 3 parts. Part A, B, and C. Pause the video, try this for yourself, and then I will write the solution in a minute. Okay, question number 2. We were given 3 expressions. Again, part 1, part A, what I have done. Just by looking at this expression, I could see there was a 3 as the common factor, so I pull it out, and then I was left with the 8x squared minus 2xy minus 3y squared. What I have done, same thing, just multiply the coefficient of square terms, which is 8 times minus 3. When I jiggle it out, just write down the factors, and then I saw for minus 24 is the same as 4 times minus 6. And if I do 4 minus 6, it gives me minus 2, and then I can split my middle term is minus 2xy using 4 and minus 6. This is what I've done here, and then I end up with this bracket. And then similar things again, what I have done here, I multiply the coefficient of square terms, which is 4 and 35. Simplify it a bit, find the factor which will give me minus 13, and I saw if I use minus 20 times 7, it give me minus 13. That's what I have done. Split middle term using minus 20 and 7xy. Group the first 2 terms, the last 2 terms, I end up with this. Similar thing again here, multiply 16 times minus 7. If I look at that, I get the factors which give me positive 54. I will have to use minus 2 times 56. I do apologize, I might have written this wrong before as a plus 5xy, but it's not supposed to be 5xy. This is 54xy. Just if you have copied it wrong, it was my bad, and then I rectify that. So again, what have I done? Rewrite the expression, split the middle term using minus 2 plus 56. This is what I've done here. Group the first 2 terms and the last 2 terms. I end up with this solution. And then I think this will be the end of it. And fortunately, we come to the end of factorization. I think we have covered quite a lot different type of factorization. And then this will be the end of factorization, and we will start another series next time. Again, try to do as much exercise as you can do. The more exercise you do it, the better you become. And then I keep saying all the time, you learn mathematics by doing it, not by watching someone else doing it. So do as much as you can, and then you will get better, inshallah. All I want to say, for those who are new on this channel, please subscribe and press the bell. You can be notified whenever we we post a new video. Also, don't forget to share these videos with others so they can benefit from it. So let's stop here for now. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.